Jelly, have you been taking ketamine? Because I think it could really help you.
If you thought South Park had finally run out of ways to shock the world, think again. Season 27, Episode 2 doesn't just cross the line, it obliterates it, sets it on fire, and dances on the ashes. This is South Park at its most unhinged, most offensive, and yet most brutally honest. The episode titled Gut Nut takes aim at everything and everyone: ICE agents, right-wing influencers, political bootlickers, Botox-obsessed politicians, and yes, even the residents of heaven. And somehow, Trey Parker and Matt Stone make it all connect in one relentless stream of chaos. From the moment the episode starts, you can feel the show's old spark burning brighter than ever, the kind of satire that makes you laugh so hard you almost miss how disturbingly close to reality it all feels. It's not just about absurd jokes. It's about showing us how ridiculous and dangerous the real world has become. It all kicks off with Mr. Mackey. Sweet, awkward, painfully soft-spoken Mr. Mackey losing his job at South Park Elementary. The reason? Vague budget. Cuts that nobody seems able to explain. In true South Park fashion, this small, almost mundane event is the first domino in a chain reaction of utter insanity. With nothing left to lose, Mackey stumbles into a job with ICE, yes, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, a move that, at first, just looks like a desperate middle-aged man trying to pay the bills. But this is South Park, and things never stop at normal before long. Mackey isn't just working at ICE, he's thriving there. The meek school counselor transforms into a cold, relentless officer, raiding homes and detaining undocumented people without hesitation. And the most shocking part, he's not portrayed as evil. He's portrayed as disturbingly normal, a man simply doing his job, following orders, never questioning the system that gave him authority. It's the kind of satire that lands like a punch to the gut because it's funny and terrifying. But South Park doesn't stop there. Mackey's descent into authoritarian absurdity takes a full-on supernatural turn when ICE's operations expand to heaven. Yes, literal heaven, clouds, angels, St. Peter at the gate, and Mackey's team storms in as if the pearly gates were just another border to patrol. Angels are tackled. Baby Jesus is detained. St. Peter himself gets slammed to the ground for not having the proper paperwork. It's hysterical in its insanity, but the commentary is razor sharp. When institutions become too big, too unquestioned, they stop caring about context, morality, or even reality. To them, rules matter more than humanity, and South Park nails this point with the subtlety of a wrecking ball. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Eric Cartman is on his own crusade, one that's just as ridiculous and just as biting in its satire. He's fallen deep into a YouTube rabbit hole of right-wing influencers, obsessing over videos where self-proclaimed truth-tellers embarrass college students in debates. Inspired, or maybe just desperate for attention, Cartman decides he's going to be the next conservative superstar. His approach, holding stage debates at school where he picks opponents who don't even care about politics, just so he can destroy them on camera. He edits the footage to make himself look like a genius, uploads it with clickbait titles like Cartman Destroys Feminist with Facts, and sits back waiting for the internet to crown him a hero. It's parody at its finest, poking fun at the kind of performative outrage that floods social media, where image matters more than substance, and where the loudest voice always gets the most attention. And in true South Park fashion, the absurdity doubles when one of the real-life influencers Cartman is imitating actually responds positively to the parody. It's like watching satire eat itself, and then we enter the political war zone. The episode shifts to Mar-a-Lago, where Donald Trump is surrounded by chaos, but this time, the spotlight isn't really on him. It's on his running mate in the South Park universe. J.D. Vance, the portrayal is so bizarre, so over the top it could only come from South Park. Vance is shrunken down, squeaky-voiced and endlessly submissive, serving Trump with a loyalty that borders on humiliation. He's oily, literally covered in baby oil, and eager to perform any task, no matter how degrading, just to stay in Trump's good graces. The message is clear in today's politics. Loyalty isn't about shared beliefs, it's about total submission, even if it means losing every shred of dignity. And South Park milks this for every grotesque laugh possible. But the true nightmare fuel comes from South Dakota's governor, Kristi Noem, or rather, South Park's version of her. They haven't forgotten the real-world controversy over her killing her own dog. In this episode, she's reimagined as a horror movie villain, casually shooting puppies in the name of tough leadership. If that wasn't surreal enough, her face, stretched and frozen from Botox, literally detaches from her body and crawls across the floor as a sentient creature, whispering, "I eat puppies," in a chilling, deadpan voice. It's revolting. It's disturbing. And it's a perfect metaphor for how politicians often value image over empathy, crafting a fake mask of strength while doing things that are cruel, selfish, and absurd. By the time the episode reaches its climax, all of these threads, Mackey's heavenly ice heat raids, Cartman's online clout chasing, Trump's oil slick sidekick, and Noem's Botox monster have woven into one chaotic, hysterical, and disturbingly sharp piece of satire. It's not just a South Park episode, it's a statement that the show is far from irrelevant, and maybe more essential than ever in a world where reality itself often feels like a parody. Trump, smelling opportunity like it's his own personal cologne, steps right into the chaos. He claims to be the chosen negotiator and demands a meeting with God himself. Of course, God doesn't appear, but that doesn't stop Trump from speaking as if they've already struck a deal. Heaven will be under new management, he announces to the stunned angels. And the pearly gates will be gold-plated, sponsored by Trump International. Vance, dripping baby oil and groveling at Trump's feet, hands out promotional flyers for Trump Heaven resorts while dodging flying halos like incoming grenades. The satire here is at its sharpest, South Park showing that in the quest for power, even the afterlife is just another market to exploit. Meanwhile, Cartman has finally found his way into the battle by hiding in a choir robe and sneaking past the chaos. The moment he's inside, he whips out his phone, live streaming every second with captions like "exclusive. Cartman brings you the truth from heaven and angels exposed." He interviews random detainees mid-battle, twisting their words for maximum shock value. Then turns the camera on himself to bravely declare that only he can save the celestial realm from tyranny. In true Cartman style, he's not there to help anyone, he's there to make himself the hero of a story he doesn't understand. It's a brutal jab at modern influencer culture, where tragedy and chaos are just opportunities for personal branding. Kristi Noem's Botox mask arrives like the final boss in a grotesque video game. It slithers through the battlefield, grinning. Its frozen grin, spraying Botox fluid like acid at anyone in its path. Behind it, Noem trudges along, silent and glassy-eyed, a prop in her own political theater. The mask declares itself the new ruler of heaven and orders its militia to eliminate all imperfections. The angels, disgusted, turn their swords on the mask, and in a gloriously revolting moment, it's sliced in two, releasing a gush of Botox that dissolves the cloud beneath it. The mask twitches, whispers, "I eat puppies" one last time, and slides off into the abyss. It's grotesque, it's over the top, and it's exactly the kind of cathartic, absurd payoff South Park thrives on as the battle winds down. Mackie finds himself standing in the wreckage, broken gates, scattered halos, angels tending to the wounded. For a split second, there's a flicker of doubt in his eyes. But when an angel asks if they can finally go free, Mackie just adjusts his glasses and says, "Not without the right forms." It's the perfect final jab, showing that in some systems, no amount of chaos, rebellion, or moral questioning can shake the blind devotion to rules. The episode closes with a deliberately absurd news broadcast inside the South Park universe. The anchors recap the Heaven conflict alongside other headlines. Cartman declares himself angel president. Trump opens pre-orders for heavenly timeshares, and Kristi Noem's mask still missing, last seen near hell. Then comes the self-aware punchline. One anchor asks, "Is South Park even relevant anymore?" And the other smirks. "Oh, we are now." The screen cuts to black. Gutnut isn't just another wild South Park episode, it's a reminder that the show's bite is as sharp as ever. It's disgusting, hilarious, disturbing, and disturbingly real. It mocks power, image, loyalty, and the way absurdity can become normal if you let it. And when the credits roll, you're left with that familiar South Park feeling, laughing at the madness, but also wondering if the joke's a little too close to the truth.